Okay, I want to do this video too. I wanted to react to it as well on TKO, Tanya TKO. I guess I like her videos enough. I have actually subscribed to Tanya TKO, so it's Tanya TKO needs to thank Angry Biracial for getting her yet another subscriber off of the fact that he is really mentally deranged, apparently, according to these reports at least. And this isn't Tanya TKO bashing him. From what I understand, she comes from the same perspective as I do, where we supported him, and then he does something that's a little out of line, or a little mental, and then you know you kind of dig into his past and you see a whole bunch of crap that's like, whoa. For me, I kind of look past that because, I did know certain things about his past, but not to the extreme that she's saying, like, if there's really a record of him beating on women or a child abuser, as the title says, I haven't watched the whole thing, then that's stuff I did not know. I just knew that he lied. And I knew about the whole Rush Limbaugh thing because my mother, she was a supporter of Rush Limbaugh's since 1996 when 1994 I think it was actually when she became a Republican. So I grew up listening to Rush Limbaugh, and I remember the Purple Heart story specifically. But let's continue.
Because there's really not much research that I needed to do before this broadcast. Listen, there's a lot to get through, and we're going to get through it together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all a few moments to come on in, and then we are going to just jump right on ahead. As a matter of fact, let me open up my thing, get this up and running, and then go forward from there. All right, so I need to get the link populated. All right, so here we go. I need to, hold on. Welcome in, everybody. I see you all are coming in. Let me just welcome, everybody, welcome. I'm just waiting for the link to populate, and then we're going to go from there. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Oh, where's my captions? Hold on, let me get my captions back up on the screen. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to be jumping into all of this right now. I just needed the link to populate and get all of this up and running. All right, the link has populated. I see you all are writing. So we're going to get right into the back end of my account. Hey, everybody. All right, yes, we're getting ready to finish this up right now and just finish this whole debacle for anybody who had any doubt inside of their mind about what type of person Angry Biracial is, because he's running around on the internet right now making up all of these lies. And for anybody who thinks that this was a long time ago and he's changed his ways, you can see he is still lying. He's still manipulating documents. There's a lot going on.
He does. He manipulates documents. He lies a lot on people, tries to abuse different parameters to attack people too. And also, one other thing you can notice, anytime he's stuttering, he's lying. That's what you could see, because you could pay attention to a clip where he's lying in his earlier offenses, basically, and you can see every time he tells a lie, a really big lie, he starts smirking and stuttering, and he still does that to this day, smirking and stuttering. That's what he does in his videos. Anyway, continue.
So we're going going to get into that in this broadcast. I'm just doing my maintenance behind the scenes, getting the thumbnail up, and let's see, getting the thumbnail up, connected, and saved. Yeah, so you know what? Somebody says, I know he wish he would have kept his yap shut. Whatever word is yap for mouth? All right, I see Pete. Listen, we're going to go through this together because he has already tried to posit that I'm going to start making things up. So, you have to imagine that there's something going on with.
I never know why he thinks that just making stuff up about people makes sense. You know? Well, especially when, in reality, with him, no one has to make anything up about him. Like, all the evidence is, like, when you just look up his name, you find all the evidence you need. So it's like, what are you talking about? You know? As far as the character of this individual, it's really crazy. Like, to me, I think he's mentally unhinged and unstable, but also mixed with a lot of psychopathic or cluster B traits, at least. Personality B traits, at least.
With this man mentally, if he knows that all of this information is out there with a quick Google search. Let me just get the links in and out to everybody because text notification squad has to come up in the building. Let's see, TKO text squad. All right, here we go. All right, the text has gone out, so that is out there. And then now let's get the free notification sent on Telegrams. If you want to get yourself either a text or a free notification, go ahead and look inside the description of this video. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. Listen, I told you he watches my video. I told you he watches, so he supposedly now has made a video trying to confirm that the woman that he claims is his wife is his wife. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get all of the notifications have been sent out. Let me check my phone for the text and see. Text hasn't come through. Nope, text hasn't come through just yet. That's the earlier one. Let me refresh. We're going to go live on all of these platforms, and then we're going to jump right into all of this. All right. So it looks like the text is being held up, maybe because of some of the verbiage in it. I ate well. I had a nice salad with this homemade dressing that I made. I made a nice Asian-inspired almond nut dressing with like garlic and ginger and
I need to eat like that. That's real healthy and good. Seriously. I need to do that. I just get so freaking bloated. Then I feel nasty afterwards. It's just annoying. Anyway, continue.
I used some soy sauce and some what do you call that, sesame seed oil and some rice wine vinegar, and I mixed it all up together with some honey, and it was so good. It was so good. I was eating that like, I was like, yeah, this is the nourishment I need to get back on air. I'm just waiting for this text to go out. All right. So go ahead. If it's early enough in your part of town, grab your popcorn. If not, it's late hours now, so you need to be getting ready for bed. But text just went out. Perfect. All right, so the text just went out. Let's go ahead and get live on all of these platforms. Let's see what we have here. All right. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. And we are live, of course, on YouTube. And as you see here, we have a screenshot, or we have a thumbnail here, right? We have a thumbnail. And I'm sure you can recognize from, even though he looks like a Manchurian candidate with his big head and little body, I'm sure you can recognize.
He seems like he might have a mental issue. And think of how his speech pattern is, and it can kind of tell you that probably does have some kind of mental issue going on. The fact that he has like a seemingly a unique shaped type of head, added to the fact that he stutters a lot due to also, other mental issues that he seems to be struggling with. It all seems compacted together, like they're all in unison, I would say. I don't know what his condition is, but you could probably gather that there is a condition he may have. But let's continue.
Nice. Jesse Macbeth. This is the name that he uses on his books, which he mentions publicly. If you do a quick Google search for him, so let's talk a little bit about who he is and why we care right now. First of all, I need everybody to share this video, especially share this video with the people who have shared his videos with you, because they need to know what type of person they are following behind. Because this is embarrassing for us as Black women, because we were so desperate and so thirsty to hear a Black man, excuse me, a man with some little bit of Black in him speak some sort of...
He said in the past that he identified as Black, and then on top of it, claims Egyptian is somehow Black, which would imply he's a Black man. I think he uses the biracial identity to try to be able to trash, I think, Black men or whatever, or talk about Black men without implicating himself. But anyone could tell that, obviously, of course, considering he is part Black, he is implicating himself. Probably talking about himself, and many times he tries to bash others. Just saying. Anyway, continue.
Some talking points claiming that he's uplifting Black women, but this is a lesson to all of us. This is a lesson to all of us that we look at these women. I'm sorry, the dust is just too much around here. What was I gonna say? Oh, because it's very dusty, right? There's a lot of people out there who understand Black women's pain, right? And they know how to capitalize off of our pain. And that there are a lot of people with many different ways that they behave in their lives, right? And so this is embarrassing for us, because we know how we hear people talk about going on dates and, oh, you didn't know that he was nutty and all this other stuff, right? How many of us Googled the name? How many of us Googled the name that he himself put online, right? Because this is not doxing or anything like that, because this is the name that he's using on his books. This is the name that he's told us it is. And I was so caught up in just wanting to believe, that he really wanted to uplift Black women, right? And I just wanted to believe that so badly that even I didn't look him up. And you all know that I had gotten some special software to do background checks. And so we did run a criminal background check on him. We ran a check to search for his marriage license. This is what I'm saying. The woman that he claims is his wife. Listen, you think this is a joke? When I tell you that any and everything that this man, anything that he has said out of his mouth needs to be put up to question. Any and everything. So, let's go ahead, share this video. Share. There's only 300 people in here right now. And I know that more people than that need to see this. I know that more people than that. Share this in your WhatsApp group. Share this in your text. Share this in your email.
Yeah, I should share this. I'm definitely going to share this. I've heard... haven't finished this video, but I'm gonna share it. Oh, forgot. I haven't shared, watched video. Well, I'll just see. People need to hear the truth.
Tag somebody that needs to be here. If there's anybody who has ever sent you a video from Angry Biracial, and he has already let us know what his play is going to be. His play is going to be to try to assassinate my character, to try to make it seem as if I was trying to get with him in text message. This is why I'm glad that before he did any of that I showed every single text message that came through live from the damn phone, something that he cannot replicate with fakeness, right? Maybe he's over there trying to go back and forth, typing all of the text all over again, but he's going to mess up. There's no way that he can, there's no way.
Yeah, I don't get why, though. He likes to start stuff with people. I mean, like, if you know that you have a shady character, I would think you would just mind your own thing instead of trying to make up stuff about other people. You know, anyone can look up the truth about you, you know, and realize that the only one shady in the topic and the conversation would be Jessie Macbeth. Angry
But nonetheless, let's go on a journey, everyone, and let's do what we should have done long ago. All we have to do is do a Google search. Everyone right here, right now, I want you to Google the name Jessie Macbeth. Google it. It was right here before our eyes. And this guy, he seems so unassuming. He seems so unassuming that none of us, this is not a war. This is not a war that anyone, listen, the only war is happening within this man who has not gotten the mental health care that he needs. When I show you what it is that he has done, you will know that we were following a man, listening to a man, sharing his videos and listening to the words of a person who is, by all intents and purposes, having some sort of unaddressed crisis inside. And we are so blind and so thirsty and desperate as Black women to hear a man, any man, uplift and acknowledge us and our pain, especially with Black men and in the Black community and all of that.
I don't understand why people with such mental problems like to focus on other problems. Like, if he has so many problems in his, life or mental issues, why doesn't he focus on fixing that? Or is it just a distraction? Is this a distraction? Talking to Black women, trying to basically finesse them by talking about the struggles that some Black women have found with Black men and so forth. Is that a distraction to avoid what he's dealing with in his life, with his mental anguish, with his mental illness or disability or issue that he's having?
We allow just anybody to come forth without even doing a Google search. How many of you have already done the Google search? Google it now. Google it now. Listen. Okay. So Bree understands what it is out here. SJ, please stop with those comments. I don't want to put you on, I don't want to remove your comments from the screen. Stop it, please. Okay? Stop it. Stop it. Let's go forward. Now that, okay, so we got 500 people in here. The numbers are coming up. Come. Because you know what? The names, the words that I put in the title are going to make these sites try to suppress. So come on. let's go ahead and get into all of this, right? Oh, Lily knows what's going on. So look, let's open up a Google, let's open up a page on Google, right? We can do this together. All you have to do is search for Jessie here. All you have to do is search. Oh, here it is right here. Search for Jessie McBeth, right? And see what comes up. That is all you have to do when you get off of this live. And so he tried to claim, he started setting up, because this man is a master manipulator. He set it up on his page the other day, saying, I'm afraid she's going to start trying to make things up. She's a woman scorned. Oh, she's hurt. She got a vendetta. Oh, she's trying to sully me. Oh, right? You can't make up a Google search. This was here for 15 years. A long history. So when you search Jessie McBeth, the first thing that comes up is a Wikipedia article. Let's click on that. Jessie Adam Al-Zaid, name change from Jessie Adam McBeth, right, in 1986. He was born in 1984, right? And so people are alleging that the woman that he claims is Egyptian, his mother was really a white woman that got with an Arab man and then changed his name when he was a child, right? So let's continue going forward. Read the Wikipedia for yourself. Is an American anti-war protester, author, and military imposter who was convicted of falsely claiming to be an Army Ranger and veteran of the Iraq War. In alternative media interviews, McBeth fabricated claims that he and the unit routinely committed war crimes in Iraq. Transcripts of the video were made in English and Arabic. They say that he should have been charged with treason because the claims that he made was inciting more violence over in the Middle East, because he was talking about capital R wording women, shooting children, shooting women, hanging them, burning their bodies, hanging them from the rafters in mosques. And this made Muslim men over in the Middle East, it made them very angry, and it incited more violence against actual soldiers. You want to know what happened with this man? He never made it out of basic training. You know, they have to do a psych evaluation in order to be able to get out of basic training and enlisted and become enlisted. After 44 days, he was kicked out of basic training. Then, you know how he got caught? You know what he was convicted of? He was convicted of falsifying U.S. documents. He falsified his discharge papers and tried to get money from the veteran. He tried to get money as a veteran, falsifying his documents as if they didn't know that there was going to be some sort of system behind the scenes to be able to check and see who is eligible for pension. I mean, this is what I'm saying.
But he seems, I feel like he's the desire to do all those things to people, and fantasize about hurting women in that way, killing people in really horrendous, sick ways. It seems like he has those psychopathic tendencies, those cluster B tendencies, basically. And to me, I think the big issue here is that he's of low intelligence on top of it. So when you compact somebody who is a cluster B and has more psychopathic traits, or, well, the real definition of it is antisocial personality disorder, but those type of traits with someone who isn't very smart, you get things like this, where they do dumb things and they do heartless things, basically maniacal things, demonic things, and they don't care about the well-being of other people because they don't have a conscience like that. They don't have remorse or guilt. So they can literally entice and, encourage violence. And it gets them off, honestly, to do that because they have sadistic tendencies, But yeah, it does seem like that type of behavior honestly does seem like someone who, is really dangerous to society, honestly, if you have fantasies like that. And no wonder, of course, he would be discharged because, mentally, obviously, nobody wants a maniacal psychopath, on the battlefields. They're not looking for people who are just bloodthirsty. They're supposed to be fighting a war, not just demolishing and destroying people because they have demonic fantasies of killing people.
And people, and he said he was 48. Oh my goodness. People are saying this is scary. This is how I felt. I felt sick to my stomach when I was reading this. So let's take a look at some more of this in Wikipedia, because there's a lot of things that we can read and there's some videos. This went all the way up the chains. He was reported in national news. Rush Limbaugh reported on him. So did Fox News, because people on the quote-unquote left were promoting his participation in this documentary. So I want you all to just take a look and see who it is, because for the people who were calling me straight up evil and all of that in the last broadcast, the people who were capping and caping for this man, have you typed him into Google? He is now trying to posit as if I'm some sort of home wrecker who wants him, of all people. My God, I would have rather if he would have been like, oh, I got this big handsome cousin that Tanya was trying to write. But to say him, son, take yourself out of the equation, man. What is you talking about? Yo, you slandering me now with them type of lies. Listen, boy, put up the text messages that you claim that you have. You say you don't want to expose the text messages. Expose these alleged text messages that you claim that you have of me saying weird stuff to a married man. Expose it. You said you don't want to. I want you to. Put them up. Make them public. Do say that it was me who wrote anything to you that was inappropriate or weird in any way. Because you see, boy, you mess up now. You're messed up because you tell too many lies that you can't even keep up with your lies. First you said your wife was a fan and she was really happy that we were writing and all this other stuff. Then all of a sudden, now you're going to try to pretend as if your wife was like, with these weird messages she sent it. Really? Which one was it? You see, you can't even keep up with your own lies. You've messed up now because look, it's out there. Make up. The truth is stranger than fiction. Oh, as I said, friction. The truth is stranger than fiction. Well, look at this madness.
I don't understand how he expects people to act like he's a normal person and that we're just supposed to ignore all of his past, of those, like, making up 6 stories like that and, having those type of interests. We're supposed to act like he's normal after knowing that? I don't understand. How is anyone normal supposed to act that way? Yeah, in any normal reality, everyone's going to treat him exactly how he needs to be treated, which is, we're going to, at best, treat him like he's mentally deranged and needs mental psychiatric help. But, at worst, honestly, why can't he just be locked up for life, And to some people, even worse than that. But my point is that, I don't understand how he blames other people for having an issue with this, when any normal human being would have an issue with his past. It's just what it is, And people could say, like I said, that he has changed, but you can tell that he hasn't. He constantly still is a liar, in my opinion, and constantly goes with lying whenever he can. For anything, for that matter. Not even for things that are really big, in my opinion. He just is a habitual liar like this. This is a common occurrence and a common trait of Cluster B. personality disorders, they do tend to lie quite a lot. That's a part of the disorder, basically, for those type of personality disorders. So, anyway, continue.
Don't say nothing. Let him put it up. Put it up. Jesse, me beg you. I am begging you. You said you don't want to put up these text messages, weird text messages. I am begging you to put them up. Call my bluff. Let's see home Rakatanya, right? For you must be mad. Me not get down like that. Put it up. Put them.
Would you ask your dream girl out if you knew she was going to say yes? Of course you would. How simple
Sorry
things
about
would be,
the
right?
commercial.
Them up. Post it publicly. Post it publicly, yes. Say that it was me. Say it was Tanya. Let's continue forward. He joined the Iraq, the serving and combat unit. He was discharged from the army after having been declared unfit or unsuitable for the army or both. Before he could complete basic training. He couldn't even complete basic training. After his release, Macbeth presented himself as a veteran, telling war stories and garnering attention from the mainstream alternative and student media outlets. He joined Iraq Veterans Against the War in 2006 and represented or was scheduled to represent them publicly at various events throughout the country before the organization required proof of service. The organization later said it did not endorse Macbeth or his accounts of military service. Accounts in Macbeth's name appear on military.com and myspace.com, and both were used to post claims about military service in Iraq. On September 21st, 2007, Macbeth admitted in federal court that he had faked his war record. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Sullivan declared that Macbeth had been in the Army for just 44 days and had been dismissed as unfit. Go ahead and read this for yourself. You go ahead, there's a lot more. Pepper spray production videos, uniform discrepancies. They're talking about, he had his uniform all messed up. Social alternative in Eastern Arizona. It even goes into a little bit of his criminal record in here. He was in custody and served time in jail. This man is a convict, and look at what it was he was convicted for. You think that these are lies? Go and search for it yourself. Look, then you see Jesse Macbeth. He has an IMDb page. He appeared on Judge Judy. This is unbelievable. He appeared on Judge Judy. This man has been seeking attention for so long. He knows that this stuff is out here, and he's still using this name to sell his books because he feels that you women are so goofy and so silly that nobody would do a Google search. But you came to the right place when you came onto my show. The crazy part about it is that he's saying that I ambushed him. I didn't even have on makeup in that video. If it was going to be an ambush, damn it, I would have looked good. At least put on a battle bonnet or beret. I would have done something.
It's not really an ambush because it's what he said that she was asking about. So how is it an ambush? She asked what he specifically said. And to me, I mean, like, you have to know. If you're going on a channel that specifically has to do with black women, and she's a black woman, I don't know if he knew she was a black woman. I mean, she said she's vocal about being a black woman. But, you know, she's a black woman. You're going on a channel where you specifically said someone was just a black woman with a white parent, you know, and disparaged black women. They might know about that, or someone around them may know about it and bring it forth and tell them that, you know, you don't like their kind, basically, you know. So, I mean, like, he did it to himself by going on her channel. Duh. But then again, like I said, he is of a lower IQ, I get. That he's not the smartest person and has never been a smart person. Like, there's some people who get dummied down over time because of substance abuse, because of whatever the heck happens, deterioration. But it seems that he was never smart, because if he was smart, I mean, some of the things he's done in the past kind of imply he's of a lower IQ, obviously. Anyway, continue.
But anyway, so here's his here's the whole. Let me make this a little bit smaller so that we can see everything in one space. So, right? So here's the he is making easy money off of Black women. 4 months ago, he was talking manosphere talking points about, and then he was also come to find out. He was criticizing the Me Too movement. Come to find out he has allegations against him. Come to find out he was bragging about, fantasizing about capital R wording on his Facebook page, according to a reporter that reported on this story. We'll show it to you. But just take a look, scroll down, take a look and see what is out here, right? Just look and see what's out here. All of these different websites, even Jesse McBeth, former U.S. Ranger Poser, all of this stuff that is out here. Poser, look at this, look, here's a website right here. Look, you see me clicking on it on the World Wide Web, right? This is not me making up anything. Because he wants to try to make it seem as if and we talked about this in the last video. Look, Jesse McBeth, Poser. Jesse Adam Al-Zaid stoked opposition of the Iraq War. Let's take a look at, look, they got some videos here. Let's take a look and see some of these videos. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. You know, here, that came up on the wrong page, y'all. This is my Telegram behind the scenes. Let me move this to a different page, right? Let me play a little sound for you all that somebody sent me in our Hangout text note. Shout out Text Notification Squad.
Finish him.
You know what time it is. Let's get this started. Finish him, you say? Let's play the video and see. I just want you to see his face, because some of you are like, that's not him. Oh, but it is. Take a look.
Of Iraq veteran Jesse McBeth.
I want you to take a look, and one of the things that I want you to take a look at is I want you to see who is his alleged wife in this video. So he has a wife and a baby in this video where he's making these allegations. I want you to see who's his wife, because remember in that last video we showed how he was coveting biracial women lighted in a brown paper bag, all up until 4 months ago, right? All up until a month ago. And then 6 days ago, once I promoted him, then all of a sudden, now he's come out, he's putting up these videos, and now he's talking about all this stuff on YouTube, right? But look and see, look.
His wife Lynn and their newborn baby boy. Jesse served as an Army Ranger in Iraq for 16 months before being wounded and ultimately discharged from the military. He is now a member of Iraq Veterans Against the War.
So here, where's the image that they're showing of this right here? They're saying it's his woman, right here. They're saying that this is his wife, right there, the biracial looking young lady. And you all saw that he had a bunch of children he claims he had some children with a chocolatey woman, and all of the children, all of them, he said are lighter than him with hair straighter than his. And he had them with a chocolatey woman. But then we see
some of the kids he showed look dark to me, but hey, who knows?
Here, Here that there's a mixed phenotype woman who they're saying that he has a baby with or children with. So I just want you all to know that any and everything that he says out of his mouth cannot be trusted. Here, look.
Home of Iraq veteran Jesse McBeth and his wife Lynn and their newborn baby boy. Jesse served as an Army Ranger in Iraq for 16 months before being wounded and
I can never understand what's true, because if this whole story of him serving was untrue, what else is untrue? I mean, he's such a fucking liar. You can't believe anything he says. It's what it is. When someone lies, you don't know what's true, what's not. That's all I have to say on that. I'm not saying it is or is. I don't know what is. I don't know if he's ever been married. I don't know. I don't know, really. And him showing any records of being married, well, how are we going to really believe any of that either if he's already frauded his papers when it comes to him being a veteran? Why would it be beyond him defrauding his marriage papers? You know? That wouldn't be much of a shock to me, at least. Continue.
ultimately discharged from the military. He is now a member of Iraq Veterans Against the War.
I thought I was going to be who? I thought I was going to be, the best, and I'm going to go and protect my country.
They're talking about his uniform discrepancies, how he has his sleeves rolled up like someone from, but there's another video that has words writing across it, right? Talking about all of the things that are wrong in this video. But where is that video? I thought it was on this page. Is it not on this page? Let me see. Is it not here?
We went to the home.
It must be, it's on a different website then. This is the website with the falsified documents, the Rush Limbaugh calling him out, all of the different words, but it doesn't have the video with the words going across it saying all that is wrong, because one of the things that was wrong is his sleeves, his uniform wasn't up to code. He did some research, but didn't research on even how to position all of this stuff correctly.
Go make sure people at home don't suffer, even though I hate some people back at home, but I still want to do my job for everybody else, for all the innocent people. And I have so much pride for my country, so much pride for my home, my government.
Does he look like he's telling the truth in this video? Look at his face. Look at his face. What type of person goes and tells lies like this? Does a sane person tell lies like this? Honestly, does a sane person tell lies like this?
And they...
No, they definitely don't. I don't understand, though. He knows that anyone can see this. So why would he expect anyone to have positive views towards him if they know the whole detail of exactly what he did?
I got shipped off to Osan, in Korea for like 1 week, They go pick up some more people. And after that,
every time he lies, he stutters. So he's had this stutter for a while, but listen, when he's lying, he's stuttering.
All the way over to Baghdad, We dropped off in Kuwait first, and then we got a caravan that down to Baghdad. But once I was in Baghdad, once I got there, my whole aspect of the country changed.
Look his face. He's smirking as he's talking. Look. Take a look. Somebody said he got a big head. He looked like... How many of us saw, what was that? With little Rue, and they were holding up their hands, and they had to kill one another underneath that dome, and then the boy got kidnapped, and then they fell in love, but the guy from back home really liked her, but then she ended up... What was the name of that movie? Remember the guy who had gotten kidnapped? What was Mockingjay? What is that movie? Hunger Games. Yes. He looks like when the dude from Hunger Games was held captive. And remember how his head was all big and his body was all skinny? Look at how this man looks. Yes, thank you.
When we were in Kuwait, we got debriefed about our mission. Like the Rangers, we had debriefed about, that our job over there is to strike fear in the hearts of the Iraqis. That's what they told us. They say, You can do whatever it takes. You know, well, we're not gonna hold anything against you. You're not gonna get charged for anything. Do whatever it takes in the field to make them fear you. And to be brutal, to not feel, they just said we're not there for them. You know, we got our own purpose, and we're not there.
That is so weird. He starts stuttering when he's lying. Why is that? Like, you can see that he talks, and then he just stutters out of nowhere. Like, you know, like how when people stutter, usually they just stutter. But he just stutters when he's lying. Like, why does he do that? Doesn't he know he's telling on himself every time he does that? I mean, I would think he knows that he is stuttering when he is lying. Doesn't he notice that other people are going to know that as well? I don't know. That's just something I thought.
That for them, the Geneva Convention,
Goodness.
That doesn't mean crap. The Geneva Convention is just something for political, crap,
You hear all the stammering, right?
Once I heard that, I'm like, what happened to the Army values, just the stuff you pumped us up for? What happened to just going over to liberate the people? Operation Iraqi Freedom is more like Operation Iraqi Slaughter, And so I remember when I first got there, so after the debriefing, they had us go out and clear out the bunkers after the Air Force bombed the crap out of them. So we had to go in there and make sure everything in there was dead still. So whether it was women, children, whatever, if they weren't dead, we had to finish them off and drag their bodies out. These like little underground bomb shelters or our houses that have little basements in it, and most of them were just families, hiding down there. But we were told that there were insurgents hiding down there. There was Saddam's forces hiding down there, So we, they went down there, and a lot of them were dead, and a lot of them weren't dead, just wounded. And
so you could watch this. This whole thing is 11 minutes long, and then there's a part 2 on it too. I wish I had.
He sounds like he has some kind of brain deformity, or like he had a brain injury. Like, to me, I mean, like, I don't understand how people could think that he, like, whatever is wrong with him, I think it's, I don't know what it is, but it's like, to me, it's weird. Why does he seems like he's like dealing with something that's making him sound a bit disoriented to some extent, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I don't know. To me, I think that whole interview kind of implied that he was struggling with his mental issues, I think, honestly. And to me, he sounds like he had some kind of brain injury or damage, honestly. And I don't think he specifically does, so it's really, really weird to me. It's like, I don't know, it's a little uncomfortable watching that video to me. Anyway, continue.
The video that had but all you have to do is, because you know what, I just did the Google search with you all, right? So there's a part 2 on there. I didn't watch part 2 because when I saw that, I was like, this dude is out of his mind. Like,
that I took part in that, that my country turned me into this very same thing we're trying to fight against. They now that I look back at it, we are the terrorists. We're the ones terrorizing the country, a whole nation of people that did nothing wrong to us. And Iraq had nothing to do with the 9/11 attacks, And I didn't know that then, but I know it now. And
And who goes on and tells lie after lie after lie like this? And somebody says that was a long time ago, but has he changed his ways? I showed you all a screenshot from his community tab where he's talking about how he's going to expose some text messages from me, weird text to a married man and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I know no such thing exists. So I know he hasn't changed his ways because he's still lying to this day.
Yeah, and he constantly lies for no apparent reason in my experience. Like, he was trying to claim I was attacking him, and I never even was going after him like that. That's not really what my interest was in doing. But because he likes to lie, he always likes to basically make up things about people, and it's so weird to me because it's like, you don't have to live on lies like that. It's almost like there is no truth to this individual. All they know how to do is just lie and stutter about every time they lie, so everybody knows they're a liar on top of it. But to me, I think that the fact that he's trying to swindle black women is no different than when he was swindling people when it came to, the Iraq War and being a so-called vet. He lives to try to assert some kind of fame, some kind of money off of people, and just basically to swindle people out of money, basically, and for his benefit. Seems like he believes in using people, which is another, like I said, cluster B characteristic. Anyway, continue.
He's still lying. He's lying. He lied on our country. He spent time in jail for this. Let's go back to the website. This is what I'm saying. All you have to do is just Google the man's name. Google his name. It's all out there. Google. And then let's see. It's important that we never forget that everything Jesse McBeth admitted to never happened. He got all the way up to Rush Limbaugh. Go read all of this, the fake claims of war crimes and all of this. Here, Rush Limbaugh. So Rush Limbaugh's hating on you too?
I remember this because my mom's a ditto head, and I grew up listening to Rush for a very, very long time. Anyway, continue.
The anti-war left has its celebrities. One of them was Army Ranger Jesse McBeth. Now, what made the 23-year-old corporal a hero to the anti-war crowd was not his Purple Heart or his being afflicted with post-traumatic stress disorder from tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. No, what made Army Ranger Jesse McBeth a hero to the left was his courage, in their view, off the battlefield. Without regard to consequences, he told the world the abuses he said he had witnessed in Iraq. American soldiers killing unarmed civilians, hundreds of men, women, and even children. In one gruesome account translated into Arabic and spread widely across the internet, McBeth describes the horrors this way: we would burn their bodies, hang their bodies from the rafters in the mosque. Recently, Jesse McBeth, the poster boy for the anti-war left, had his day in court. He was sentenced to 5 months in jail, 3 years probation for falsifying a Department of Veterans Affairs claim. His Army discharge record, too. Yes, Jesse McBeth was in the Army, briefly, 44 days, before he was washed out of boot camp. McBeth is not an Army Ranger. He is not a corporal. He never won the Purple Heart. He was never in combat to witness the horrors he claimed to have seen. But don't look for retractions, folks, not from the anti-war left, the anti-military drive-by media, or the Arabic websites that spread his lies about our troops. Fiction serves their purposes. The truth, to borrow a phrase, is inconvenient to them.
I want to show you guys something. So you've probably seen this guy. All over your social media feed. He says you don't have to cut carbs to lose weight. You don't have to run on the
Yeah, so Rush Limbaugh's hating on you too, son? Everybody's a hater, right? Rush Limbaugh hated on you? What about, look, there's other, what about the U.S. government? But you know what? Let's take a look at his documents. Rush Limbaugh went and he auctioned these documents on eBay and then gave the money, the proceeds. This is the documents that he falsified. He falsified U.S. records and signatures and falsified his discharge stuff. He falsified this stuff. And then now he's going to come out, and Rush Limbaugh auctioned this, the 4-page letters with all of the signatures and all of that. He auctioned it off years ago and gave the proceeds to something. I don't remember what it is he said he gave the proceeds to, but yeah. So this is what you see when you Google him. Then Fox News talked about him as well. Fox News Live guests. So they were talking, so they had to disavow this man. And then this just shows you how disingenuous the news media is, because listen to how they still want to purport as if, well, he was just a bad apple. Let's listen.
What I would encourage my fellow guests to do is actually to read the transcript of what Rush Limbaugh said, because that's what I've done. I was actually listening at the time, and this is an absolutely fabricated story.
It isn't. That's what he said. He used those words.
Absolutely. He used the words
phony soldiers. It's there. Just read the transcript.
Sir, to describe someone who was actually a phony soldier, someone who had lied about their records.
He didn't refer to specific soldiers. He spoke generally. Well, that's just the fact.
I would encourage Fox to go ahead and play the clip from Rush Limbaugh, because I know Rush Limbaugh has it prominently displayed on his website. None of the Democrats, Senator Tom Harkin is not quoting Rush Limbaugh. They're only quoting this one-term phony soldier, taking completely out of context.
Terry, we will meet your challenge and play that clip right now. Hang on.
What's really funny is they never talk to real soldiers. They like to pull these soldiers to come up out of the blue and spout to the media.
The phony soldiers. All right, pretty clear, isn't it? Phony soldiers, it's right there. Wasn't referring to one specific soldier. I think it's very clear what he said, and that he owes an apology.
Well, if you continue, first of all, you don't know who that caller is referring to. If you go on for another about 30 seconds, you hear Mr. Limbaugh start talking about Jesse McBeth, who is a man who the left has made very prominent because he came out and said that our soldiers did horrible.
So Fox News was hating on Jesse McBeth too? Everyone was hating on him, right? You hear they're saying his name.
Things, burned bodies of Iraqis, and this was broadcast all over the place. And now it turns out that Jesse McBeth lied about his credentials.
But he wasn't talking about Jesse McBeth when he said phony soldiers. Well, he was talking about generally a group of people who he said weren't worth being treated.
So Jesse McBeth made his way all the way up to Fox News with this effery, and he couldn't even stay still. He ended up in some sued and countersued with an ex of his on Judge Judy, and everybody is lucky that somebody said he doesn't need Tanya for clout. He has Fox News. You're doggone right. Oh, let me play that soundbite again.
That's for real.
Perfect. All right, so here. There's more. There's so much more. So let's talk about so there are other websites that are alleging that this man here. Let's take a look at this. This is VenceMagazine.com. They're calling him a military imposter. Military imposter Jesse McBeth currently investigated for perjury and child abuse. Black women, who did we allow into our fold? Did I make this up? The name of the Uman Zaka or Zakia Usman is the name of the journalist who created this in 2022, right? In 2007, McBeth lied, claiming he was a U.S. Army Ranger who capital R word and capital K word Iraqi women and children. Today, Franklin County Children's Services in Ohio is investigating McBeth because of substantiated child abuse allegation, right? I heard him mention in a video that he had a really rough past and, he changed his ways because he was a street kid and foster care and all of this. What does it do to a person to grow up in that type of environment, never get help, and then pick up a microphone? Never get any psychological help, if any of that even really happened. Because I'm going to tell you, quiet is kept. People are saying that his mother was never an Egyptian student. And I'm going to ask you all some questions, right? We're going to get back to that article, but I want to ask you all to use your rationale, right? I'm going to ask you all some questions, right? This is what he's claiming. He alleges that his mother was a 17. Sometimes in the story it says 17. Sometimes he says 18, right? A 17-year-old student from Egypt who his father had a handler that would push foreign women onto him so that he could pimp them out. So he got her addicted to drugs and then put her on a street corner. This is what Jessie McBeth, pathological liar, is alleging, right? But let me ask you a question, because have we thought about this? Because, we're critical thinkers here. If you have a child who is a student that you send over to another country to get educated.
Oh, sorry.
And your child falls by the wayside and on a corner, drug addicted, what do? Do you just say, oh, well, and leave your child there in another country walking the street while some N-word is pimping her? Do you do that? Or do you go get your effing child? Do you go get your baby? Your 17-year-old child? Do you go get your child? You sent her over there for school, and some black man has now got her addicted to drugs. Do you just leave her and say, oh, well, let's just sum it up? Or do you go over there and you retrieve your baby? Do you go and you get your girl and you bring her back and you get her on rehab and you get her cleaned up? People are saying his mother is still alive. Check the comments under my videos, because the truth will come out. People are saying that his mother's a white woman and she's not Arab. She just merely married an Arab man and then changed his name when he was 2 years old, as we saw on Wikipedia, right? You all are saying you go get your girl, right? You go get your baby. If his mother was really a student, right? If his mother was a student, who just leaves their child? Think about the stories that we're hearing. Think about the stories.
Yeah, I always thought that story didn't make any sense. And I was always like, I don't know what you're talking about there. That doesn't. But I never was like, my thing was like, well, how do we know it's not a student who is, an immigrant who is illegal or something? And he just wanted it to be a student or something, so then she could seem more innocent or something. I didn't know what was going on there. But maybe, yeah, you're right. That does make sense that maybe she's American instead, and he just has a stepfather that's Arab. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're hearing from this man. He has an allegedly dark-skinned wife. When we saw that years ago, there was a multiracial-looking woman that they said was his wife. Then he's now saying he got this dark-skinned wife. All of his children are white. I can understand one or two popping out white skin, but all? That don't make no sense.
That part does to me a bit, because it's a father. Fathers usually do make their kids a lighter color if they're lighter complected. Specifically, what's his name? Stephen Brown was talking about this at one point, where, yeah, usually if the father is lighter skinned, then they're more likely to, have children that actually have that phenotype. While if the father's dark skin, it's less likely to happen. At least that's what I've seen with my cousins and so forth. This is not just biracials either. It can be people who are just light skinned. But yeah, it happens with biracials too. It just depends.
Ain't the black genes dominant? And we're talking about children who are 75% black. 3/4 black and all of them are white? I don't understand how that happened. But nonetheless, let's go back to this article and let's continue seeing what it is that we see here so that we can read this all together. Substantiated child abuse allegations. This article was written December 18th, 2022. Remember, we showed his Discord. Check the last video. We showed his Discord from October 2022, and he was talking about how black women bow down to white men and biracial men. They're submissive to them, but black men don't get that submission. He was talking manosphere talking points, but listen to this. Jesse McBeth, an infamous U.S. military imposter, is now under investigation for child abuse, cyber stalking, threats of violence, and perjury in Franklin County, Ohio. This is not the first time McBeth had run-ins with the law. In 2007, McBeth participated in a...
He's a stalker, too? That's really creepy as fuck. Damn.
Debunked documentary where he expressed predatorial R word and capital M word, where he capital M word fantasies involving women and children. In the now infamous documentary by the defunct production agency Pepper Spray Productions, Jesse McBeth gleefully discussed how he capital R worded and capital M worded Iraqi women and children. Americans later discovered that McBeth was not only not an Army Ranger like he claimed, but was booted from the military before completed basic training. Remember, unfit to serve. In November...
He shouldn't be He should not be let out into the regular public, I think. Having fantasies and talking about hurting women in those ways and children in those ways. I mean, clearly a pedophile. I mean, people like that need to obviously be watched and, if not, kept locked away from society. Because, I mean, like, these types are the types that are more likely to be, like, serial killers and the like. So, I just think, I don't know why people don't have a situation where they particularly don't, at least watch these types of people, put them in a facility where they are not out with regular population with those type of thoughts and so forth. Because, I mean, like, even though it didn't happen, he lied about it and said it happened, which means this is the type of person he is. This is what he would like to do. This is the type of person he is. He's telling us who he is, and we just let him go out into regular population just because we proved it's not actually true. That's not keeping society safe as a whole.
2022. We are in... What is this month? February. January? December? November. 3 months ago. Remember, 4 months ago, he was on the Discord talking manosphere talking points before he decided to get on his grift and get money from black women for the hustle. Go watch that last video, right? So, in November 2022, McBeth made erroneous claims to the Franklin County Superior Court, citing...
I gotta end. I'll start over later.